Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome for today's discussion on Bhaktiyaloka, essay by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Okay, and today is a very auspicious day. Today is appearance day of His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, the spiritual master of our Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada's Guru. His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. At the same time, today is also disappearance day of His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj, one of Prabhupada's very illustrious devotee from Orissa. So today is a very auspicious day. So for Vaishnavas, we celebrate both. We celebrate both their appearance, that means the day they were born, birthday. At the same time, also the day that they left to spiritual world. So because they have lived a life, a complete life of a devotee, and at the same time they have set so much of examples. So we celebrate, So for Vaishnavas, especially, we do not lament for death, because death is the process. Is because we all understand death is a process, and after we leave this body, we are going back home, back to Godhead, especially this thing. So the disappearance of this of these Vaishnava acharyas are celebrated happily. All right, we celebrate happily, not by being sad or something like that. Right. So that is their life, the glorious life that they have taken. All right, they live to preach, and after that they live forever in their instruction. Okay. And before we start, is it all? Am I really audible? Is there any breakage?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you're audible.
Prabhu.
Okay, good. There's no echo, huh?
No echo.
No echo. Okay. No, because just my children use this thing, and they have preset everything. That's fine. All right. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sva Parantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utta Parakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhuta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashati Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumestum Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatha Yate Namaha Vancha Kalpatrubhescha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Paditaram Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Karatise Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namstute Apta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanstute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Shubhadaya Krishna Putale Shrimati Jayapataka Swami Iti Namini Namacharya Pataya Nitai Kripa Pradaya Gauraka Damataya Nagragramatarine Hari Om. That's it. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are gathered on 17th February 2025, Monday, to continue our discussion on Bhaktiyaloka. So for the past 3 days or 3 part, we spoke about the most important part of this instruction, where this Bhaktivinoda Thakura have given a very elaborate explanation, elaborate commentary on Prajalpa. Right, Prajalpa is very dangerous. So there's many varieties of Prajalpas are there. One is if the Prajalpa that talking about others is no good. Okay, it'll destroy your bhakti, and especially to devotee. But at the same time, speaking about others to enhance our devotional service, it is beneficial. It's not Prajalpa. All right. Talking about others is no good, but when you talk about others, in order to prove a point on this pure devotional service, that is not Prajalpa. Example, when we speak about Ravana, Hiranyakasipu, Sisupal, Kamsa, and sometimes certain like olden devotees, like for instance, like Narada Muni, so how they were before and what happened, what is the changing point, like Jada Bharat Maharaj, who had almost to go into perfection of going back to Godhead, but because being attached to the deer, right, he became a deer. So there was a total fall down. Then after that, we also understand. Then after that, he repented, he regretted his act, that eventually then the following birth, he became Jada Bharat. Why Jada? Jada means Jadam, useless, all right? So it is like, he's like dumb, dull, right? Like what they call, there's also called psychiatric condition, right? I forgot the name. There's one term they call when the child is became like so quiet. What is the term? Okay, I can't recall. So, ADHD, is it ADHD or something like that? Okay, anyway. So, so that's a kind of a thing. So we speak about them in order to enhance our bhakti, because and at the same time we also understood that we should follow the footsteps of previous acharya. It's mentioned in Nectar of Instruction, to follow the footsteps of previous acharya, whatever the things they have done. So where did they end up? They still end up in a great spiritual life. All right. So their experience is our reference. Okay. So that we don't do that same mistake again. At the same time, Prajalpa, we also spoke about blaspheming devotee. Blaspheme devotee is the most horrible thing a person can do. Example, analogy I gave is like just like a jack and the beanstalk. When you have that beans that can grow up to that heavenly, everything. But of course, when we start to offend a devotee, we are making the biggest mistake in life. What we are doing, we are destroying our bhakti, the seed of bhakti, or the creeper of the bhakti, the creeper from the root. That means we have to start all over again. Because we were there, we are almost nearby. And because of our sudden trigger of ego, sudden trigger of anger, that's why it says the vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. Vacho vegam, you have to think before you talk. Vacho, the first instruction. Then manasa krodha, the ribbon of the mind and the urge, and also the uncontrolled anger. So the anger, when a person becomes angry, he doesn't know what he's doing. He cannot think straight. And the expression of anger is to either by speech or by physical. Physically, if you're angry, you whack the floor. Or secondly, by uttering nasty words. Nasty words and also cursing. All these things are action of anger, krodha. So we have to be very careful, because now we are studying Bhaktiyaloka. So what is our intention? We also spoke about the intention. The intention is to become a pure devotee of the Lord. That is our intention, really. All right. So since everything starts with a desire, because you are here in this world because of desire, and now because of desire of gaining some knowledge, you have taken up this Bhakti Yoga, and some or other by good fortune you are here because there is some desire in you. That's why you accept it. All right. Example, you have a desire for buying a car, and you're walking in a shopping center, and suddenly a salesman randomly call, hey, come. Because you have the desire, that's when you walk to him. If you don't have the desire, you just walk out. It's okay. Thank you. Even like a credit card salesman, right? So if you have a desire to own that, they will capture you. All right. So once you go there, then you start to see option. Or you sign up for this credit card, I give you a handful. Then another person says, no, you sign up with my company, I'll give you one traveling bag. Something like that, right? So that's when we have to make a choice. So because of desire, we are here. And we have to dovetail the desire to Krishna, to spiritual life. It's no harm desiring to go back home, back to Godhead. And if there's no harm for achieving pure devotional service. Okay. So when you talk about pure devotional service, we have to get the reference from a pure devotee. Okay. The best reference is from the pure devotee. Say like, for instance, if you want to achieve success in your life, you have to approach a successful person. You cannot go and talk to a beggar. How to be successful in business? He'll be asking, can you give me 1 ringgit? So like that. So we have to approach the right person who have actually achieved success. We make him as our mentor, our guide, and we take it. Similarly, all that our Guru Varga, right? All of them are none other than Manjaris. Manjaris means we understand they are not an ordinary, they are personal associate of Radharani. They are servants and servants of Radharani. So Radharani has a servant. Radharani is a direct servant of Krishna. And to serve Radha, in order to serve Krishna, there is Manjaris, Sakis, Gopis. So all these people are servant of the servant of the servant. So one of the Sakis, one of the Manjaris, and one of the Gopis, they come to this world to accept the form and to take a form of a human being. I mean, to become this thing, and they start to teach us their ecstatic feeling. Like Rupa Goswami's ecstatic feeling was enormous. He has so much of ecstatic feeling. He actually have composed so many books. But after he compiled so many books, then he realized for Kali Yuga, this portion is enough. The other portion, he buried. He buried the other portion. All right. It says, this is don't suit for Kali Yuga Wala. Kali Yuga Vasi. The people of Kali Yuga, they cannot understand this thing. The most confidential part of the Leela. In fact, now this is itself so heavy. Can you imagine? So therefore, what Rupa Goswami did, he went and buried all that confidential part. He have composed everything. All that feeling as a Manjari, have done it. But he have taken only portion that suit for Kali Yuga. The others he went and buried. And that place in India we call Grantha Samadhi. You go to Vrindavan, you can go to the place called Grantha Samadhi. Grantha means scriptures. So he went and buried the place, and he built they built the thing, and that place is called Grantha Samadhi. So like that. So what is important now? What is that requisition? All right, what is the requisition? Okay, now what are the things I need to achieve success in my spiritual life? And what is the rules and regulation I should follow whereby I can achieve the highest success? And I believe that most of you have achieved a kind of taste studying this nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction. Then after that, now we are studying Bhaktiyaloka. I have seen so many transformations start happening. And I believe devotees are started to chant 16 rounds. All right. Can I see a thumbs up? Who's chanting 16 rounds daily after attending this class? Any of you got a taste or not? Anyone chanting 16 rounds? All right. Not daily. At least attempt to do it once in a while. Am I audible? Hello? Anybody home?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Why suddenly all became very quiet? Is it a very hard question I asked?
No, Prabhu, no.
Lakshmi Mataji, have you increased your 16 rounds or maintain 16?
No, I'm doing 27 per day.
27. Very good. Wonderful.
Many years back, 2-3 years already started 27 rounds.
So you're still maintaining 27?
Yes, Prabhu. On Ekadasi day, 30 rounds.
Okay. Maybe you should try to, now it's time for you to increase it. You're too long sitting on 27. No good.
I'll try my best.
Too long sitting 27. All right, time to move up.
Because I must got a lot to study also.
Don't worry. All the studies, what is that conclusion of all the studies? What is the conclusion of all the studies? So that you can
Concentrate and concentrate on japa.
Yeah, you to have that ecstatic feeling in chanting. Huh?
Yes.
So Mataji is saying not yet 16. So if not 16 rounds yet means that means more than what you're supposed to, more than what you're doing, right, Mataji? Is that true? That means nah. Not 16 round yet, nah. What does it mean?
Still effort. No, I'm not 16 round yet.
Sorry.
Still putting effort, not 16 round yet.
Yeah, I know, not 16, but that means you have already increased from your previous standard. Maybe last time you're chanting 2 rounds, maybe now you've started to chant 8 rounds or something like that. Improve lah.
Yeah. Because quite boring to sitting there and chant, sometimes.
Okay, good. How about other Sadguna Mataji? You are so excited about this class. Always you send me a lot of wonderful messages. You went to Vrindavan. You became the guest of Radharani. Are you there? What happened? Oh, I think she's listening from far. How about others? Anyone like to share? Kesavan, how many rounds you're chanting? Are you there? Yeah, Sadguna Mataji, I saw you unmuting. Yeah, speak up. I didn't hear you. Sadguna. I think he's having with her this thing. All right. So there's, of course, some of you don't want to reveal it, but of course, they told me personally, and I don't want to mention name. There are devotees who are chanting 16 every day from those who have not chanted. Yeah, some have achieved 16, some are doing 32 and 64. And in fact, some have even attempted to do 100 rounds a day. 100 rounds a day. So it's all good transformation is happening, all right? Because our intention is to become a pure devotee. And this intention, of course, this nectar of instruction, and after that, when we go into nectar of devotion, you will be trembling in ecstasy. You'll be trembling in ecstasy. So all these things will spoil when we simply offend a devotee. So we have to be very careful. Okay. So now we have already taken up the path of, okay, and we have been selected to study this book. So therefore, we have to be very careful. So if you have not yet started, start today immediately. Then if you have started, don't stay in your standard. All right. I only do 5 rounds, time to increase. I'm doing 16, time to increase. I'm doing 27, time to increase. I'm doing 32, time to increase. Because you're getting more and more taste, utilize the taste and achieve the highest success. Okay. So that's the thing. So we just studied about Prajalpa. So today now we're going to go into a new topic, which is called Niyama graha. Okay, Niyama graha. So yesterday I just calculated. Most probably we can complete this session. We can complete this session by next week, if I'm not mistaken. If Krishna willing. So, but of course, we are not going to rush. But at least for the next, by 2 weeks, we are done. Then after that, we're going to start Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion, because we thought of doing something else. But I think to continue from after Nectar of Instruction, go to Nectar of Devotion. Okay. So that's going to be the next program. Okay. So anyway, I will ask in the group. So see what is this thing. So Lord, in 11, 28 and 2, Parasvaba karmani ya prashamshati nindati. Nindati means offending. Sa ashu bashrati swartat asatya binivesheta. Whoever indulge in praising or criticizing the qualities and behavior of others, I mean, they got nothing else but just to praise and criticize, they will quickly become deviated from his own best interests. By his entanglement in illusory or in dualities. Okay. So today we're going to start this new topic, Niyama graha. Niyama graha is the topic today. That means what? Too much attachment or too much neglect of rules and regulation. Men in this world are all suffering because of this condition. Okay. Like for instance, you attach too much to the family or life or business. All right. The person suffer. All right. Too much attachment. Oh, my family. Oh, this, that, you know, they suffer. Because end of the day, if the children grow up, when they fly off from the nest, the expectation will be there. I took care of you so nicely, and today he rejected me. No, where's my son? Where's my daughter? Nobody bothers to come and see me. You know, I think I remember I told you the story about this the old man that I interviewed, the British officer. I'm not sure whether I spoke here or spoke in during that Gita Gyan. I spoke about this man who are in an old folks home. 96, 97 years old when I saw him, when I was around 19 years old when I met him. So I spoke to him. He said, you have done everything for the best to the children. But the problem is, you forget to love. Until the children are so frustrated with him, they just told that caretaker, if he dies, just cremate or bury whatever, and just did it. They just gave the money. They are not even bothered to see him, even if he dies. All right. That is because of too much neglect. So because sometimes we are so busy with life, you know, we neglect our loved ones, our family, our wife, our children, we neglect because for the sake of imperishable things, right? Oh, I need to make money. I need to do this. I need to give them the best life. So we neglect them and run after money. Like sometimes people migrate from Malaysia, go to overseas to work, like people from Malaysia go to Singapore to work. All right, if they go and come back, it's okay. But those are JB, go to Singapore, it's okay. For them, it's just another thing. But sometimes people from Perlis, from Kedah, from Ipoh, all of them go to Singapore, work there for what, 6 months, 1 year, then come back once in a while. Like how the Bangladeshi workers here, the foreign workers, they work here, stay here for 5, 6 years, and once in a while go back for. So it's all too much neglect. So neglecting, all right, which is no good. At the same time, but here Niyama graha. So here Niyama graha, what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is referring to is too much attached or too much neglect of what? Of rules and regulation. Okay. So too much attachment and neglect is not good in our modern life, but in spiritual life, let's see what is the thing of people who sometimes follow too much rules and regulation, but this thing. Okay. So let's look at the word niyama. So niyama means the niyama, okay, rules or rules. Niyama means rules, okay, are of two kinds. There's two kinds of rules. Okay, number one is vidhi or prescription, and second is nishedas or prohibition. Okay, so if you have a book, please underline these two words. We have two kinds of niyama. Niyama means rules. Okay, we study something new today. Niyama means rules, and the rules got two kinds. One is vidhi or prescription, rules by prescription. The second is nisheda. Nishedas means prohibition. Okay, what is that? Things that you prohibited from doing. So whatever is enjoined as one's duty is a prescription. Then he says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining whatever is enjoined. Okay, whichever enjoined, that means whichever given to you as duty, all right, is a prescription. Okay, my duty is to look after my children. My duty is to look after my family. My duty is to go and work and get it done. That is a prescription. So the prescription is something that you cannot come out of it. You cannot neglect it, or you cannot come out of it. But whatever is enjoined on is as restriction. Whichever that you have to given as a restriction is called prohibition. Okay, prohibition. So that means they said sometimes, okay, now you are prohibited from doing these certain things. Okay, that means there is a restriction. Okay, we call as prohibition. All right, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur says both kind of rules are auspicious for the living entity. So these two kinds of rules, actually it is good for living entity. All right. So conditioned souls are eligible to attain very exalted position from a very low position. All right. Please underline this word. So the conditioned soul, that means we are all conditioned soul. We all got conditioning, yes or not? So we have so much of condition in our life. This is what I can eat. This is what I cannot eat. This is the way I walk. This is the way I sleep. All right. And this is my belief system. We are all conditioned because we are living in a conditioned body. Because this body got terms and condition. You don't overdo it or you don't do it at all. Body will become spoiled. So this kind of conditioned body we are living, that's why we call as conditioned soul. And we have eligibility. That means all that conditioned soul can attain a very exalted position. That means, in other words, all of us can achieve the highest position from a very low position. Doesn't matter where we stand, but we can achieve the highest position. So between these two positions, there are many other positions. That means in between of these, that means extreme. I mean, lowest and the highest, in between there is too many positions, right? Are you all following me on this? If you don't understand, stop me. If you understand, thumbs up. Okay, Nanda Devi Mataji. All right. Okay, great. So, okay. So that means between these two positions, we understand between this A and Z, there's in between got B to Y. All right, B. That means first is A and last is Z. In between B, C, D, E, F, G until X, Y, Z. So in between that's why it says there are many other positions. Each position is okay. Now, Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakura is explaining very scientifically. Each position is a gradual step. Okay, please underline this word. Each position is a gradual step. So that means it is not like you're trying to jump from B straight away, jump to F. You can't do that. So it's a gradual step. A, B, C, D, E. So gradual step. So each gradual step is the distinct level of advancement. So that means each gradual, every step that you take is a distinct, it is authentic. That means you are coming up to a level of advancement. So once you are in A, after you perfected your A, then you go to B. And once you perfected your B, then you go to C. It's a distinct level, right, of advancement. Each and every step is a gradual process and has different prescription and prohibition. So that means each step, in every step that we take, there is a what they call a different prescription and prohibition. When you are young, you can jump and run, and you can even play rugby. But once you become 40, you have to slow down because your knees all start paining and everything. But once you are 60, 70, the thing that you have to be most careful is not to fall down. Falling down is very bad for very elderly people. So like that. So that means in each step, when you're young, you can play rugby. But when you're old, you have to ensure that every step that you take, you have to be very careful. All right. So like that. So that means every step has a different prescription and also prohibition. So whenever a living entity steps on one level and stays there, he is obliged to follow the prescription and prohibition of that particular step. By following this enjoined prescription and by following those enjoined and prohibition, one becomes eligible to attain the next step. So once you perfected first step, that's when you become eligible to go to next step. Okay, sometimes like this, but nowadays it's automatic, right? But I think those days when you cannot do standard 5 UPSR or standard 6, if you don't pass your exam, you cannot go to Form 1. You cannot go to secondary 1, right? Then you go to secondary 3, right? O level. That means in PMR, SPM, SRP. If you don't pass that, you cannot go to Form 4. Then after that, you go to SPM, A levels. If you don't pass it, you cannot go to what they call STPM. Then you can't pass. That means every step, when we grow, every step if you don't gradually, if you don't complete that, you cannot go to the next step. So therefore, by following those enjoined prescription and prohibition, one becomes eligible to attain the next step. If one is unable to attain the next step, what happened? He falls down to a lower step. You got it? How many of you don't understand what I'm talking about? See, we are all trying to master it as soon as we can. If you don't understand, please ask. Yes, Vaishnava Prabhu?
Sorry, Prabhu. I did my mistake.
Oh, okay. Okay, who understand? Please thumbs up. Okay. Yes, someone saying something? Sheila, Mataji, you want to say something?
No, from
Okay. All right. Anyway, for my own satisfaction, I will just explain this because I'm not sure. Because some people will be shy to raise the hand. So I will just do it. A, B, C, D, E, F. Example. Okay. Now, this is the step. All right. So what happened? Oh, I should have draw it in opposite way. Anyway, okay, never mind. So once we complete A, we go to the next level, we go to B. All right. Once we complete the B, then we go to the next level to the C. So once you go to the C, then you go to the next level, come to the D. All right. But in the D, if you can't achieve your perfection, when you're supposed to evolve, but you can't achieve it, so what happened? From the D, you can get downgraded back to C. So you master it back again, then you come back to D. So this is called falling down from the D to C. Okay. So now I hope that you get what I'm saying. All right. So
Can
yes. Yeah. Someone saying something? Oh, Chong Prabhu. Okay. Welcome, Prabhu. Now, this is called degradation. Degradation. All right. Attaining the highest step is called advancement. Highest step is called advancement. So now you all understand. If you think that you are chanting 8 rounds, if you're not going to increase, you are stagnant in your situation. But if you're chanting 8 rounds, but suddenly you feel like you want to reduce it to 4 rounds, you are falling from your standard. Okay. But if you think that, oh, I'm already chanting, happily chanting 16 rounds, and I want to remain there, you are stagnant again. You are not advancing. But if you chant 16 rounds, and suddenly you say, okay, I just chant maybe, say like 16 rounds in one sitting. But suddenly you say, never mind, 16 rounds, I do it in 4 installments. Morning 4, afternoon 4, evening 4, night 4. You are falling from your standard. Okay. But if you're chanting 4, 4, 4, 4 one day, 16, make it 16. But now you have increased it to 8 and 8. You are advancing from your standard. Then after 8 and 8, you're in one sitting, you're doing your 16. You are advancing from that 8, 8 to 1. Then after you're doing 16, then after that you feel, okay, I want to increase to 22. You are advancing. So once you advance, please don't come back. Right? Once you move forward, please don't come back. It's not nice. It's not so interesting. All right. So then after that, after 22, then increase to 44, increase 50. That eventually, that best if you all can come up to 64 rounds. Why 64 rounds? 64 rounds means you are chanting. All right. You are chanting. Why 64 rounds? What is the reason? 64 rounds. All right. In even like Chaitanya Charitamrita and all these things, Lord Chaitanya says, I will never eat in a house where the people don't chant 1 lakh name, 100,000 names. 100,000 names. Right? So 64 rounds is a standard. Even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, if you don't chant 64 rounds, you are fallen. But our Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he was so merciful. He knows people outside India will struggle to do that. Right? So what happened? He reduced the round to 60. All right? So 64 rounds. Okay, now we talk about 64 rounds. What does it mean? In one round, okay, like for instance, in 64 rounds, in one round got 3 names. Yes or not? Krishna, Hare, Krishna, Rama. All right? Times by 108. Okay, then times by 3 names, Hare, Krishna, Rama. So it comes to roughly 110,000. Okay, sorry, 110K. names. All right, that's why I call 1 lakh, 100,000 names of this thing when you chant 64 rounds. But if you're going to do 16 rounds, all right, it is simply a 25% of the 110 rounds. 110,000 is only 25%. You are hitting it in a single day. All right. So what is that idea? So the idea is that we should always try to attempt to do 64. I wrote it wrongly. 64 rounds. Okay. So how you can go 64 rounds? Once you become perfect in your 16 rounds, then you increase. All right. Once 16 rounds become your nature habit, you increase. Then eventually in your lifetime, you have to come to that level of 64. All right. That is involvement. So it's very important. Because why I'm sharing all these things? Because as I said, that we are speaking on pure devotional service, and that is our ultimate goal. Our goal is to become a pure devotee of the Lord. Oops, sorry. Like this, what they call, even in Vrindavan, Prabhupada also mentioned that Brajavasis are chanting 100 to 120 rounds a day. Okay, so that is very important. I think there's even in our purport. In purport also we have studied that, right? A person goes to that 64 rounds. Anyway, so now we talk about attaining a higher step is called advancement. So check and balance your life. Write it down in your journal. All right. I have written here that I've written and I stick it on my wall. It took me 8.4 million lifetime to do what I am doing now. I think I've showed you before. Therefore, I chant 64 rounds of japa daily, follow 4 regulative principles strictly, study and master Sastras religiously. So I made that the phrase and I stick it on the wall. Every day I'm looking at it. Eventually one day, by Krishna's mercy, see whether I'll get it or whether I have that mercy or not. So some or other we can make that much of rounds. So we have to call, we have to move up. We have to advance. So attaining a higher step is advancement. To properly follow the precepts of one's own level. Okay, that means to follow the precepts. That means to follow the standard of your one own level. Okay, what is my standard? One is that is called prescribed duties. All right. So that's a prescribed duty. So if you want to look at your level, example, you are already quite okay with your life. But if you feel like going and getting a part-time job to make extra money, if you are a doctor practicing, you're already paid well, but you want to go and do locum to make extra money. All these things will spoil your sadhana. Keep it to your one prescribed duty, and the other of the time rest, chant the holy name of the Lord. That's why I said you must have that journal. So you can identify. When you think that you cannot chant 64 rounds, we may think, oh, 10 rounds also not easy. You're talking about 64 rounds, crazy, you know. People will be wondering. But if you really check your daily life, you can just cut off so many other things. You could be able to do that very easily. You know? Okay, now I waste my time on Facebook, right? Just check and see. How many hours do you spend on your Facebook? I just want to see my updates. I want to see anybody like my comment or not. Or today is my birthday. I want to see how many people wish me in the Facebook. So once you want to see, then suddenly you see something, you get stuck. Then after that, next is Instagram. Let's see what happened in Instagram. Ta-da-da, gone. Then after that, TikTok. Forget it. 5-6 hours gone. If that 5-6 hours, if you can just cut it off from that prajalpa, unwanted talking and thinking, so you could able to do it. So that's why I say one prescribed duty. That means to follow the precept of one's own level. Or steadiness in one's own position. That means being steady in your position. So steadiness in one's own position is piety. And deviation from one's position is impiety. Piety in Tamil we call punyam. Piety means, so to be steady is punyam. So if not, it is impiety. All right? This thing, inauspicious. There is no other piety or impiety than this. Therefore, Lord Krishna spoke in the following instruction to Uddhava in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 21, text 2 and 7. Sve svedi karya nishta saguna parikirtita viparyayastu doshasyat Ubayor Esha Nishchaya Desha Kaladi Bhavanam Vastunam Mama Sattama Guna Dosha Vidiyete Niyamartham Hya Karmanam. Steadiness is one's own position is declared to be actual piety. Right? Whereas deviation from one's position is considered impiety. In this way, the two are definitely ascertained. Okay, is guaranteed. O saintly Uddhava, in order to restrict materialistic activity, I have established which is the proper and improper among all the material things, including time, space, and all physical objects. Okay, so prescription and prohibition are further divided. So now we talk about prescription and prohibition, right? So is prescription and prohibition are even further divided into two categories, right? First, Niyama graha, that means these rules are divided into two, the rules. One is prescription, which you have to do. Second is prohibition, you should avoid. Now, he's going even further. Let's divide prescription and prohibition in further into category. What is that? The number one is conditional and constitutional. Okay, so we also know what is conditional. So that means this is my condition. But constitutional is your eternal nature. Perlembagaan, constitution, the country that you cannot change. That means the eternal nature you cannot change. What is the eternal nature? To love. You cannot change. Eternal nature to serve. You can never change. Right? That is the thing. But condition we can change. All right? So the living entity is a pure spirit. We must remember this. The living entity is a pure spirit. The prescription and prohibition, the living entity, constitutional position. All right? The living entities' constitutional positions are constitutional rules. Okay? The living entity constitutional position is there is a called constitutional rules. But when the living entity is separated, from the transcendental position, when we become separated from the transcendental position, he accepts the designation, he accepts the designations given by the illusory energy. So the designation is what? Given. It is not acquired. Now, you born in the form of a dog, given. So we accept it. That's a designation. Now, you're born in the form of a man, is a designation given by the illusory energy, Maya. All right? And but what is the thing? And it's entangled in this world. So whatever position, designation that given by illusory energy, Yoga Maya, Maha Maya, it is all create entanglement in this world. So this is what called as false designation. So that means now we are a form of a human being, right? And we have a designation. I'm a man and you are a woman. I'm brown and you are yellow, you are black. You know, I'm an Indian, I speak Tamil, you know, and what? And this is how I eat. All these things, all designation. Right? But here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining all these designations are false designation. It is not true. Because these designations are many varieties. But the constitutional constitution is one without second. So that means in this world we have a lot of designation. Today my designation is in this form. So if I give up this body and next birth, say like for instance, what happened? Subhash Chandra Bose, the Indian freedom fighter, went to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He said, you got too many young men, send to me. I need these young people to liberate India. Then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said, but what is the point? Today you're just thinking about British, you hate British. Huh? You want to get rid of them. But if you die in this situation, next birth you're going to be born as a British. So what are you going to do? You're going to come to India, you're going to suppress the Indians because you are in the designation in a British body. Right? Just like how the Japanese and American World War II, the Japanese hated America. They take the knife and come, banza! They get shot, they die. Oh, I hate America. Boom. And next birth, he's born in America. And after that, he grew up, he started to talk about the American dream. You know, they talk about American dream. There's no country like America. God saves America. So all this kind of nonsense we start to talk. Because his designation has changed. But the constitutional situation is one without second. There's nothing can never be changed. I hope you all understand that. If you understand, please put a thumbs up. Okay, everyone understood this? All right, great. Okay, so we take constitution one without second. There's no second. Is exactly that. All right. In the internal state, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur is continuing. In this eternal state means the state that never be changed of the living entity. Prema is the only prescription. All right. In this eternal state, that means we are eternal. So what is that prescription for us? Prema. Prema is your prescription. You must live life with love. And same time, envy is a only prohibition. So prema is your prescription. Your life must be full of love. Prema. All right, in the eternal state. But envy is only prohibition. What is the eternal state? The state of being a devotee, is it? So we have to have prema. All right. So eternal state and envy is the only prohibition. Because when we are in the spiritual, we are full of prema. But once we become envious of Krishna, Krishna created the world and sent you there. Go and enjoy yourself. Envy is the reason that we fell down. So this prescription and prohibition is subordinate to the living entity's eternal nature. Subordinate means what? It is part of it. All right. The prescription of prohibition is subordinate of the living entity's eternal nature. So the living entity is imbued with prema. So the living entity is imbued. That means what? It is, say like for instance, when you buy a computer, when a car, there's a system setting. They download it. Okay, the setting, in normal term. So the entity is imbued means is set up. The living entity setting is with prema, love, and devoid of envy. There's no envy is there. Devoid of envy is the shelter of eternal rasa, the eternal feeling, ecstatic, right? So the living entity imbued, that means, in other words, the living entity imbued, that means when the living entity is full of prema. Imbued means, just now the car and download is a wrong term. I was thinking something else. See, I'm not concentrating. So imbued means that is full of prema and devoid of envy. There's no envy. Is the shelter of eternal rasa. Although rasa now is 5 varieties. Okay, even the rasa is 5 varieties. Still they are one undivided spiritual truth. All right. The rasa, the love, they have 5 different varieties. Madhurya ras, Sakhya ras, what do you call? Vatsalya ras. Then parental, Sakhya means friendship. Madhurya ras, love. Then Vatsalya. Then what's the other one? The ras of parental.
Dasya.
Dasya ras is servant. Parental.
Vatsalya.
Yes. So there are 5 types of rasa, 5 types of reciprocation: parental, servant, friendship, lover, and another one is what?
Santaras, Darsharas, Vatsalya, Madhurya.
Is what?
Servitorship.
Yes. So there's a 5th rasa is called servitorship. So these called 5 types of rasa. Even it's divided, but still they are one undivided spiritual truth. Because everything is dovetailed to Krishna. Either you want to be with Krishna as a lover, or as a servant, as a father, or as a disciple. So there's a 5 types. But the rules of this position are not to be discussed here. Okay. So what do you call? Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that these rules are not to be discussed here. It's not going to discuss this. But we must know that this state is the eternal condition of the living entity. This is the 5 is the internal condition of a living entity. Although in the conditioned state, that means in this material state, in this condition, the rules are of different types. The rules are of different types. Still, all the steps are divided into three principal categories. All right. That means in this conditioned state, the rules are of different types. The rules are different types. Still, all the steps are divided into three principal. That means all the different types, but there's only three principal categories. According to the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, and all the Smritis, these three principal divisions are found as karma, jnana, and bhakti. All right, karma, jnana, bhakti. So in each division, certain prescription and certain prohibition are enjoined. That means in each division, in say karma, all right, there is prescription and prohibition. Okay, do your job is a prescription. Don't expect the result is prohibition. Jnana, right? So don't study the Vedas. It is important to gain knowledge, but to scrutinizingly study and being a bookworm, it is prohibition. In prescription, in bhakti, serving Krishna is a prescription with love. All right. And what is a prohibition? Follow the 4 regulative principles. Then don't offend devotee. It's prohibition. So like that, in every different types of this thing, there is some prescription and prohibition. In the karma division, it's mentioned in the karma division, the rules of varnashram and the 10 supplementary samskaras as well as regulative prayers are prescribed. Okay, in karma division, there is a varnashram. That means the 4 division of job. I mean, career, 4 division of activity. That means you are a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, and there's also a social order. There's social order, and also there's what do you call another one? Another one is brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi. Is varna and ashram. All right, and then 10 supplementary samskaras, rituals, as well as regulative prayers are prescribed. Sins and bad habits are prohibited. So that means here it says the sins and the bad habits are prohibited in karma. In the jnana division, is what? Sannyas, renunciation, detachment in discussing matter, and spirit are prescribed. Okay, that means first, basically sannyasa, renunciation, detachment, discussing matter, and spirit is a prescription. But at the same time, fruitive activities prohibited, forbidden activities and attachment to sense enjoyment are prohibited. All right, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, right, is prohibited. And in bhakti division, indifference, performance of activities favorable to devotion, following the prescription and prohibition of jnana division, and cultivating devotional service with the help of those prescription and prohibition are also prescribed. So that means sometimes when we do devotional service, there's also we follow like indifference, okay, performance of activity favorable to devotion, any activity that's favorable to devotion. Okay, like for instance, okay, I give you a good example. Eating fruits that is nourishing, that keep your mind calm, and all these things are prescription. But eating onion, garlic, durian is prohibition. All right, patai, all these things are, because these are all the food is which is what do you call putrid. What is the word they use? This durian is, what is the taste of durian? Putrid and heaty. My brain is not working suddenly.
Pungent
So okay,
smell, Prabhu. Pungent smell.
what is that?
Pungent smell.
Pungent. Yes, that's the word. Pungent. Anything pungent. Patai, extremely smelly. All right, and durian. All these are. Please don't get me wrong. I'm formerly a fantastic durian lover. But there is a prescription and prohibition. So these kind of foods cannot be offered to Krishna. Onion, garlic, durian, patai, make sure don't offer. Nowadays, among the devotees, patai became a famous thing. I don't know who created that idea. Take the patai and offer to Krishna. So like that. In fact, my family also, they still love patai. So whenever they feel like doing it, I tell them to do different pot and never offer to Krishna. Don't bring it near to Krishna. Even in English, they call stinky beans. So stinky. Because my mother-in-law is she's expert in patai, stinky bean. I just don't understand. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't understand. When the senses are excited, because the senses are always love to, I mean, I'm not talking about devotee, but others, karmi senses, they love to eat something which is pungent, which is dried, withered, decomposed, karvad, all these ikan masin, what they call, all that dry fish. What is dry fish? They take the fish and put under the sun, let it dry. It's decomposing. It's just like take a human body and put it outside. All start to decompose, all the ice, everything come out and all become dry. And take it and put it in a curry, nasi lemak and all these ikan bilis and all these things, all decomposed food. But it is extremely tasty. It is extremely tasty and they just love it. So it's nature of, of people anyway. Once I used to enjoy that, but now thinking about it, oh, yuck. So anyway, all activities opposed. Now, all activities opposed to the Lord, jnana, renunciation, attachment to sense enjoyment, conclusions opposed to devotional service, and giving up action are prohibited. All right. So that means all activities that is opposed to spiritual life. All right, like for including jnana, renunciation, attachment to sense enjoyment, conclusions opposed to devotional service. End of the day, after studying all that, Krishna is only Maya. There is no God. God is only light. This is all come under the prohibition. Okay, giving up action. Devotional service, opposed to do, and giving up action. Don't want to do anything, but like this, okay, I rather sit at home and do nothing. All right, I'm actively involved in the temple, but now I have something which is I'm not very favorable. I'm not so happy. So I stay away, I stay in the house. Giving up action. All these are prohibited. When the conditioned soul advances by giving up illicit activities. That means, again, here, Bhaktivinoda Thakura, when the conditioned soul advances, how he advances? By giving up all illicit activities. That means he advances by giving up all these nonsense things. Or low-class character. If he has a low-class character, give it up. What happened? He attains to the level of karma kanda. Okay? He level to the karma kanda. So such a person should remain in varnashram dharma and aspire to attain the level of jnana. All right? So first step when person is involved in karma yoga, karma. So we are talking about evolution, part by step. So then after he give up all his illicit activities, he take the money, he doesn't go to the brothel, he doesn't drink, he doesn't have party, he doesn't drink, all these things he give up. Right? Or any low class activities, character. So what happened? He come to the level of karma kanda. Okay. So once he come to the karma kanda, what is karma kanda means? Karma kanda means he utilized the money in service. Right now, I like to give a Food for Life program. Oh, okay, Food for Life. Okay, give you 1,000 ringgit. Please do the Food for Life, like what we did in during Thaipusam. Right? They give 1,000 ringgit, and another person give 1 just to cook and offer as karma kanda. That means utilizing your money for the service, but you still not have faith yet. I mean, your faith is still not there because you just came out from the low class mentality. You used to drink, brothel, go to the prostitute, enjoy all this nonsense thing. Now you come up to the level of human being. So now you don't want to waste your money doing all this nonsense. So now you call as karma kandi. You come to the level of karma kanda. All right. So once you come to the level of karma kanda, you do these kind of things. Then, so such a person should remain in varnashram dharma. So varnashram dharma means he should come and identify where does he stand. I'm a Vaishya, I'm a businessman. So I have to remain in business and I have to support the Harinam Bhajan, Harinam Kirtan, and of course to support that the book distribution by donating on the Sastra Dan and all these things, he have to support. Okay. So after once he know where he stands, because before that he's outcast. Before that he was outcast. He doesn't know where he stands. He earn money, enjoy. He don't care. He don't know whether it's a Brahmana, whether it's a Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, even lower than Shudra. He doesn't know that he's a brahmachari and all these things. Even like an unmarried bachelor, they call them brahmachari. But once they start to make money, they go and visit a prostitute, which is prohibited, right? So that means if you have taken, say, I don't want to get married, I want to remain as a bachelor the rest of my life, but you go and visit prostitute in brothel. So these are the things. So we are in the low class category. So once they give up all that, they come to the level of understanding. Okay, now I'm not married yet. I'm a brahmachari. I'm not a brahmachari, but I'm a bachelor. So I have only one choice: give up my situation, be a brahmachari. Brahmachari means you wear saffron and stay under the guidance of guru. If you think you can't do that, get married. There's nothing in between. There's no such thing. Bachelor in Vedic system, there's no such thing. Either you're married or you are a brahmachari. For a girl's, marriage is must. But for a man, there's an option. Either you marry a wife, marry a devotee girl or whatever, marry a person and build a family. Or if you think you want to be a bachelor, wear saffron and stay under the guru's guidance. All right, brahmachari. Okay, there's no such thing as bachelor. And I'm a bachelor. I'm not interested in girls. But these are the plus will be more visiting. All these are problems. So once you come to the level A, okay, I'm a bachelor. And now I'm come out of it. Okay, now what should I do? Okay, I think I want to get married. Okay, that means your varna. Varna is, that means your ashrama is grahastha ashram. You understand? And what is your varna? Oh, I'm a businessman. I'm Vaishya. So you start to identify where do you stand? That means from the outcast, from the way this out of this thing, now you're coming to the level of identifying where do you stand in that hierarchy. After you go to the level, then your second step is to aspire to attain the level of jnana. So what is that jnana means? That means you start to study Bhagavad Gita. Then you start to study Srimad Bhagavatam. You start to study Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then the works of Goswami like this Bhakti Siddhant, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Upadeshamrita, like Bhaktiyaloka. So we want to study all these kind of things to understand. Now you have already understand your position. Now you must know, is there anything beyond me? But if you are very fortunate, if you get the right source, if you start to study the Bhagavad Gita by Srila Prabhupada, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, you're considered very lucky. But if you go and suddenly you go and check some translation from somewhere, somebody, and go and read something, some bogus, which is not under parampara, which is not under the spiritual lineage, all that is totally waste of time. So that jnana that is under the fruitive activity. The jnana that is going to divert you out of your spiritual life. Thinking that I am not this body, but I am a soul, and there is a soul up there which also doesn't have a body. So my job is to do whatever I'm supposed to do. So in the future, I could merge into the light. I could merge into this thing, this thing. What they call Brahma Jyoti. This is Mayavadi philosophy. And second philosophy, everything is one. Shiva, Vishnu, Ganesh, Brahma, everything is one. But they all take different position in order to prove a point. That's another Mayavadi philosophy. Because in Bhagavad Gita, we have understood. We have read Bhagavad Gita, and I hope that all those Gita Gyan students, you remember that everyone is an individual. I've stressed this point so many times, right? But those who have not heard that in Gita Gyan, who are hearing me for the first time, please hear this very carefully. Everybody is an individual. You are an individual here, and you'll be forever individual. All right? You are given a body in an individual. That means your thumbprint. Nobody has your thumbprint. Nobody have the face, the way you look. No one has it in the past. And no one will have the look like you in the future. Your thumbprint, once you got it, that's yours. You never get the thumb. Nobody, if you check back, nobody has it. Nobody has it in your future. Even your DNA, your authentic DNA, RNA, all these things are very authentic. Even your cornea graph, even your voice, your thinking, very authentic. There's no second person like you existed in the past and will not exist in the future. Even if you look at the identical twins, there is difference. All right. So all the living entities, even if you talk about fish and everything, they cannot look alike. There is some different there. Even there's one dot different there. Because all of us are individual living entity. We will be individually here. And once we go back to Godhead, you remain as individual. You go there, you don't merge into Radharani and become or you merge into Gopis, merge into Sakis, merge into Manjaris. No, you go there, you have your own constitutional position. Who knows that you are a Manjari? Who knows you are a Sakhi? Who knows you are a dust in Goloka Vrindavan? Because in Goloka Vrindavan, everything there has it is what they call, it has a form. Right? So and the people in Goloka Vrindavan, they can simply change their form. Like Rupa Manjari came to the earth and took the form of a man and became Rupa Goswami. Right? So like that. So they can change the form and everything. So today you feel like, oh, I feel like Krishna want to step on me. So you just turn into a dust and stand in your pathway of Krishna, and the Krishna will just step on your head. Oh, I'm so happy. And next day you turn into a form of a flower, and Radharani will pluck you and put at his lotus feet. You can just take any forms that you like. Right? Because there is Ananda Vigraha. Beautiful body, beautiful form. Right? So that means all of us are individual. So to generalize is a biggest mistake. The problem that we have created these kind of offenses against the devotee when we start to generalize. When that devotee can do, why this one cannot do? Finish. We must understand all of us are individual. We remain individual. So do not generalize. Generalizing is the biggest mistake. All right. So like that. So that means we understand, okay, I am not this body, so I am an individual soul. And this is the thing. So I come to the level of jnana. All right. So this is the duty. He should remain in Varnashram until he attains the detachment. So the knowledge gives you detachment. Yes or not? The knowledge. The more that you acquire knowledge, the more you start to understand. All right, you start to understand. So that means you remain in a detachment from material activities by discussing difference between, by understanding and discussing difference between matter and spirit, and analyzing the nature of this is the thing. Then the most important part is analyzing nature of false ego, because the false ego is another biggest headache. The reason there will be a clash of ego, fight will erupt. Clash of ego, aprat, the offenses will arise. Right? Who are you to tell me? Who are you to distinct? No, I finish. So that means who are you? Who are you? You know, this kind of thing. So analyzing the nature. So as a devotee, we have to analyze. Is my false ego is thick and grave? All right. So sometimes when the false ego says, like, so for instance, like example, asking for forgiveness. It's a clash of ego. How am I supposed to go and ask forgiveness? Who is it to? Who is it for me to ask? But if you could do that, you are cracking open your false ego. False ego is like a huge mountain. All right. Every time that you go humbly and try to do something that you go against your false ego, like you're putting a little dynamite on the mountain, start breaking, boom, a big crack fall down. Still the mountain still there. Then again you do boom, then another part of the chunk of the mountain fall down. So what we should do, how to break our false ego, to do something which your ego don't allow you to do. If you think that you need to go and ask forgiveness, say like for instance, you need to ask forgiveness from your father or your uncle you hate the most, go to him and ask forgiveness. Let them laugh at you, but you're cracking open your false ego. Like men or sometimes women, especially men. Men is usually like, it's called MCP, right? Anyway, so if you think you need to go and ask forgiveness from your wife, do it. You know, I mean, you don't say, oh, I'm a man. How can, no, go. Try, crack open all the things. All right. But all these things you can only do if you have knowledge. All right. That's why jnana is very important. Gyan means knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, you definitely can never do it. But you have the knowledge. Now, I'm not this body, and this wife or this husband, boy, is going to be given to me for this journey. For this journey, she is my companion. That's it. But after you end the journey, then you go to the next journey, next life, you're going to get a brand new family, brand new father, brand new mother, brand new siblings, brand new spouse, brand new children. Everything's given to you. Only this time. So whatever you have it, appreciate and keep it. Right? But sometimes in order to do that, you to crack open, you need to come out of it, false ego. Otherwise, if not, it becomes sinful. The life will be sinful. When the detachment is attained, so the detachment. So once we have the knowledge, we can come to the level of detachment. All right. Then his higher qualification destroys. That means his higher qualification destroys his attachment to fruitive activities. So then what happened? when he was a karmi, when he was thinking about karma kanda, he was karma kanda, he get the money, he takes care of everything. But once he start to understand the knowledge, he start to learn, he start to see the difference. He could make what is a different matter and a spirit. That means I know I am, body is a matter and I am a spirit. You know, everything that I'm working for so hard is only a matter. All will perish one day. So I go to work, I just do my 8 to 5 job, and I just come back and concentrate my spiritual activities. I don't get entangled into some part-time job to do something which is not necessary. Right? I do locum, I do extra job, I do part-time job. You know, I do this. Just try to live within your means. So when you start to understand that, in the evening, once you finish, you start to engage in spiritual life. So how are you going to engage in spiritual life? By associating with devotees. Then after that, your faith start to come. So that means after you start to realize, yes, that's when the higher qualification, that means you come out from that, you destroy this attachment for fruitive activities. You say enough. First time in your entire existence in this material world, for trillions and trillions and trillions of years, for a first time, you can come to that understanding, enough. For human being, enough is the most toughest idea. Enough. Now you come to the level, enough. Cukup. Cukup makan. Cukup lah. Tamol lah. Cukup. Right? But if a person still remains inclined, if a person still remains inclined to the rules of karma kanda, right? Remains. Okay, if he still remain in the rules of karma kanda, then he cannot make advancement. So whoever that gives you donation, sometimes when you do this kind of program and people give you donation, don't simply take money only. All right? Oh, I'm having this program. Oh, I give you money. I give you 100, 200, 500. Don't just take money. That's another mistake sometimes the devotee does. Okay, they know they got a group of donors. I get this money. Okay, this person will support. No. Once they start to give you money for some kind of program, so that means they are coming out of this abominable life and they are trying to enter into karma kanda situation. So it is our duty, right? When someone give you donation, just go and say, thank you so much for your donation, kind donation. You are so generous. I would like to give you a gift. Try to create an opportunity to go and see him. Try to create an opportunity to some or other be his friend, rub shoulder with him. Sometimes just try to think of him, meditate on him. Whenever you see something very unique, maybe for small baby Krishna, just call the person, Mr. A, are you at home? Yes. No, suddenly I just thought of you and I saw one beautiful gift. I'd like to come and pass to you. Can I come and pass to you now? Or maybe at 7 p.m.? Yeah, sure, we are at home. All right, so I'll come and see you. So what do? You just go there, well prepared. So you go there, you just give them, this is from baby Krishna for you. Oh, then I say, then when they start to look at it, wow, you look like so attracted to baby Krishna. Then he say, who is not? Baby Krishna is so good. Now your Madhurya, what they call Vatsalya? I think Vatsalya Ras, right? Parental. Vatsalya. Yeah, I think so, parental. Even Vatsalya, right? Parental. Madhurya, Vatsalya. Yeah, I think so, Vatsalya. So, what you can say? Looks like your Vatsalya Ras is activated. You know, Mother Yasoda loves Krishna. Until they used to sing this song, you know, Enna Davam Seidaye Yasoda. Enna Davam Sinja. What boon you have got, oh Mother Yasoda, that you have Krishna as your son. You are nurtured him. You are seeing from the early, the first day he appeared in this world. You make his eyes, you make his ears. So when they are in that mood of Vatsalya, when you go and stress on that point, somehow or other they start to become, yes. So now let's look after this. What is baby Krishna as your own child? And they'll ask, what should I do? Every day offer milk. Baby loves to drink milk, offer milk. The offering process will start. And how to offer? Just make sure that you don't keep everything cleanly and this thing. Then after that, you don't need to say anything. Miracle will start. Because the same thing happened to my cousin sister. Right? She was one of my top book distributor and I was very happy with her. And I sent her a gift because she always talk about Jagannath. I sent her a gift. All right, because she was quite far away. I just sent her a gift, Jagannath Baladi Subhadra, in a small thing in a once she received the Jagannath, she was in ecstatic. Suddenly she called me, hey Punithan, my real name is Punithan. Huh? So, hey Punithan, why my whole house is fragrant? Really? Oh, I think Jagannath is started. That means her dasya, her servitorship is started. Then I asked, what they call, did you notice that all the plants start flowering? Sure, a lot of flowers are coming. Take everything and offer to Jagannath. Okay. Then she has a big rambutan tree, very old tree, that produces first-class rambutan. I said, rambutan season is here. Yeah, I think Jagannath loves rambutan. Oh, what should I do? Every day, why not pluck 10 rambutan and offer to Jagannath and make sure that all of you eat that rambutan? Oh, then what should I do? Put one tulsi and just say, dear Jagannath, please accept the rambutan. And what happened? She started to offer rambutan and she started, and eventually the whole family went to Jagannath Puri and they were in great ecstasy and came back, and now today they are in Tirupati. So they have decided every holiday they want to go on pilgrimage, and of course they just love the Jagannath. Eventually all their non-vegetarian food is start to reducing tremendously. So whenever people offer you money, offer you service, favor, make friendship with them. Don't simply be a sucker. Take, and don't care. Return back. Go back to them. Okay? You have that intention in your mind. The intention is to make them a devotee. But don't show it right in front of your face. I'm going to make you a devotee. No. Just go there. Huh? Then one day you call them. Today, Sunday, I'm giving a Sunday feast. I'm sponsoring the Sunday feast. Would you like to come? Be my guest. I'm calling up all my donors, my well-wishers, and give them a feast. Krishna Prasadam. Please come and have lunch. But please come early because we're going to have some party with some bhajan kirtan. Then after that, we're going to. So when they come to the temple immediately, welcome them with so much respect. Give them a comfortable seat and ask them to follow the chanting, prayer, everything. Even you're busy, make sure you pay attention to them. Don't run around, ignore them. People will be wondering, why this people call me and keep running here, running there, not even though they will be sitting in one corner, they eat and chow. Eat and run away. So you just pay attention. Okay. Now can you see the altar? That is Krishna. Huh? Krishna, why the Krishna raised his hand? Because he came in the form of Radharani. Don't give a lot of information. Just say, let them ask question. Trigger their inquisitiveness. And who's that? Oh, that's Balaram. The Ananda Shesha. Oh, okay. Oh, that's Lakshman in Ram Lakshman. Yes, Lakshman. Oh, that is Prabhupada. Is that a deity doll? I think, yeah, there's a Murti. Oh, I thought he was alive. Yeah. Why not you go and touch his feet? You can feel the difference. Oh, then go there and touch the feet, and that's it. We have responsibility of upgrading people from karma kanda. So we are studying this. At the same time, we have to give back to the society. So we have to upgrade them from karma kanda. If not, then there's no advancement. They always remain inclined. All right. And karma kanda, they cannot make any advancement. They stuck in that situation. So we have our responsibility. All right. The duty of one who has attained the level of jnana kanda. Okay. So once the person attained jnana kanda, from karma kanda, he have upgraded to jnana kanda, is to remain fixed in knowledge. He always remain fixed in knowledge. All right. Until he attains, when? How long fixed that? Until he attains the taste for devotional service. Until you get the taste, remain in that knowledge. He should remain under the rules of jnana kanda. As soon as qualification of devotional service manifests, so once the qualification devotional service, it manifests, then he should give up attachment to jnana kanda. Okay, that means once your qualification for devotional service manifests, you start to have some kind of ecstatic feeling, then you should give up your attachment to jnana kanda, learning, studies. Give that up. Otherwise, he is guilty. If not, he is guilty of Niyama graha and will not make any advancement. That's what I'm telling you. Stick to one grantha, one book. Don't aspire to study too many things in life. Huh? Like now, since everything is online, I do this course, that course, this course, this course. End up, we have no time for chanting. What's the point? So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakura, it's not my opinion, it's Bhaktivinoda Thakura saying, give up his attachment on jnana kanda. If not, he will be guilty of niyama graha. What is niyama graha? To attach or not attach at all. Okay, and he will not make any advancement. So I stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata mat kata shravanada va shraddha yavan na jayate. As long as one is not satiated by fruitive activity and has not awakened his taste for devotional service by Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, he has to act according to the regulative principle of Vedic injunction, Shraddha, or faith. Is the only qualification for bhakti as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, what is that qualification for bhakti? What is that qualification? In order for, if you want to create a bhakti, what is the qualification? Simply Shraddha or faith. So the faith, it is that. So how you're going to increase the faith? The faith is by go on reading and studying the books. So once you got the faith, then you are already come to the level of bhakti qualification. Tasmat bhakti yuktasya 11:20-31. Yogina vai atmanaha na jnanam na cha vairakyam prayacha shayo bhavit iha. So, therefore, for a devotee engage in my loving service. How? With the mind fixed on me. The cultivation of knowledge and renunciation is generally not the means of achieving the highest perfection within this world. Wow, something new we are hearing here. So therefore, in Canto 11, chapter 20, text 31, it says, therefore, if devotee engage in my loving service, how you engage? By the mind fixed on me. All right, fixed on me that by chanting and all this, you're on level. Cultivation of knowledge and renunciation. To cultivate knowledge. Cultivate means to develop knowledge, and renunciation is generally not the means. It's not the means of achieving the highest perfection. So by cultivation, study too many books, or to remain this thing, it is not the means of achieving highest perfection. So now we may think, that means I don't need to study, I just chant Hare Krishna enough. No. Step by step. Right? Identify where do you stand. Where is your Varna and where is your ashram? Number one. Number two. So once you identify them, so then you come to the prescribed duty. Right? Then you come to Karma Kanda. What is my job? Right? And what is this thing? So once you achieve that Karma Kanda perfectly, then you go to the Jnana Kanda. Study. First, you have to start studying Bhagavad Gita. How many times? 100 times. 1-2 times is not enough. Okay? So, study, detail, study each and every word Prabhupada is trying to explain. Study. Attend all the class. Whichever class on Bhagavad Gita, go, attend. Once you're okay with Bhagavad Gita, then you go to the next class. Okay? So like that, then you start to evolve. Evolve. Then you go to Srimad Bhagavatam. Then you go to Chaitanya Charitamrita and work of Goswami. Enough. Don't go and read these. Not necessary at all. Why we are reading Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is declaring himself as supreme. And Prabhupada is summarizing the entire evidence from all the Vedas to prove the supremacy of Krishna. You learn a lot in Bhagavad Gita. Number two, then Bhagavad Gita passed the baton to Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So Srimad Bhagavatam says, okay, what is that? He talk about all the pastimes of all devotees. Okay, what this devotee did, what this devotee, like, what they got? Like, for instance, starting from Vyasadeva. Former life, he was a Shudrani, son of Sudra. Alright? But he was serving in the ashram of Bhaktivedanta. So when he was serving in that ashram, and the Bhaktivedantas, the pure devotees blessed him. And with their permission, he had the remnant. All the food that they have eaten, he take the remnant and start eating. And whenever they give class, he listened. He attained perfection. Alright? And then after one long story, then the following birth, he became Narada Muni. Even born in the Shudra. Right? Then, like that. Then we talk about Parasara Muni, then we talk about this Muni, that, this, after continuing all the pastimes of all the things, including the instruction by Lord Shiva to Prachitas, another beautiful pastime. Then this thing, and that Lord Shiva will drink that poison and keep it in his throat, and that's when his name became Neelakandan. Okay, so like that, we continue all the thing. Then we come to the confidential part, Canto 10. Now let's see. Is it worth doing this? Now let's see what happened. So in Bhagavatam, they give you so much of evidence to convince you, all right, that you are in the right path. You make mistake, it's okay. They can achieve achievement. Oh, like that means I can go on making mistake, it's stupidity. Okay, so it's pure stupidity. I just do what I want and expect different results. It doesn't work that way. So now is that. So after you finish, complete all that, then you come to the level of Bhagavatam. So now Bhagavatam says, yes, Krishna the Supreme. When you talk about the Rasa Leela, wow, of course, short-lived. It's short, this thing, it's not this thing. All right. It also, there's a book called Krishna the Supreme Personality. It's the 10 canto description. If you get a chance, please read that book. All right. So after that, then you study Chaitanya Charitamrita. So once you study Chaitanya Charitamrita, what happened? The Lord Chaitanya, the Krishna came in the form of Lord Chaitanya to teach people how to practice bhakti. Harinam Japo, Harinam Japo, how to chant the name of Krishna. And what is that excitement? But when he came in the form of Krishna, of course, all the gopis and manjaris all came and lived in Vrindavan. Okay? And they didn't show any pastime. Their pastime is only loving Krishna. Then after that, another part of the people came to Dwaraka. He fought with them. Right? Then another part came in the family of Kuru. Then he created Bhagavad Gita. But in Chaitanya Charita, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastime, all the manjaris, sakis, and all they came in the form of devotee. Right? And all came in the male form. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot go around hugging them. Right? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu start to show the ecstatic feeling. So they all came and they start to write. What is it mean to serve Krishna with Parakya Ras, Madhurya Ras? How does it feel to love Krishna? How is it feel to be a pure devotee of the Lord? And this knowledge is only a secret in Gaudiya Vaishnava Parambara only. You can't find it in Sri Vaishnava. You can't find it in what they call Rudra Sampradaya or Kumara Sampradaya. All the other Sampradayas, they don't have this thing. Only in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. We understand the highest place is Radhakund. Only Gaudiya Vaishnavas will know that. Right? Why we call it as confidential? Because since his book is spreading all over, because the person who are not in that mood will never get attracted to that. Right? Even the home you're staying underneath gold. There's a gold mine under your house. You just need to go to your garden and dig and you can find gold. But when you don't have that attraction, you definitely will never do it. But somebody come, you sell the house and the fellow digger gold. Oh, I found a gold. Because he wanted that. Right? So that's the thing. So we must remember this. The loving service to Krishna is only start from Shraddha, faith. Right? And Krishna, so after we study Chaitanya Charitamrita, and in that Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the Goswamis will come. Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, then Gopala Bhatta Goswami. Did I miss anyone? Gopala Das, Raghunath, Sanatan, Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta. Then what is the sixth one?
Jiva.
Jiva Goswami. And Jiva. And who is the seventh Goswami? That is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And that's the book that we are reading today. The seventh Goswami. All right? Seventh Goswami. So that's the thing. So we are trying to understand. So we study this because we are not interested in karma, jnana, jnana, all that. We are not interested. Now we are thinking how we can attain the supreme position of prema bhakti. We are not even interested in bhava bhakti, ecstatic feeling. The reason that I personally was attracted to the works of Goswami and all that Vaishnava Acharyas, because I want to know what is the mystery of bhava. But after studying, I didn't study scrutinizingly, just melotama on surface level, I even understand. Even bhava is not so exciting. Prema. What is prema? How does it feel to be prema? And after that, got another few more steps. Raga Anuga, Raga Atmika. Then of course the Raga Atmika is all for Radharani and above. It's amazing thing. But all is written. Because you know why? How they can write it perfectly? Because they witnessed personally as a Manjari, as Saki, they personally saw Radharani is doing it. And they came in the form of human and they start right. And half of it they bury it. They say, oh, this is too much for Kali Yuga people. Right? So that's the thing. So that means you have to evolve. But don't think, okay lah, no need to study. Say no. Education is important to convince you the decision that you make. Alright? So that means, okay. The temple of Krishna Prema, okay, is situated in the highest peak of Goloka Vrindavan. The temple of Krishna Prema is situated in the highest peak of Goloka. In order to reach that peak, one has to cross 14 planetary system of Karma Kanda. All right? They has to cross the 14 planetary system. Number one, Karma Kanda. The 14 planetary system in this world is under Karma Kanda. The Viraja Brahmaloka of Jnana Kanda. So, after you pass through this 14 planetary, you come to that Brahmaloka, Viraja Brahmaloka of Jnana Kanda. Who lives there? Who is the spouse of Brahma? Anyone? You don't understand what my question? Who is the wife of Brahma? Now you better understand better. Who is Lord Brahma's wife?
Saraswati.
Saraswati. So now you understand Jnana Kanda. Saraswati is mother of knowledge, Jnana. Alright? Then after that, he has to rise above Vaikunta. Then after you come to the place of Brahmaloka, Jnana Kanda, then you go up to the place Vaikunta and you have to go further than Vaikunta. Then gradually giving up attachment to the stages of karma and jnana. That means you give up your attachment to karma. It's called 14 planetary system. You give up the attachment to jnana, Brahmaloka and Vaikunta. One becomes eligible for bhakti. Then, after crossing various stages of bhakti, one reaches to the temple door of Prema, Gaura Premanandi. You come to the level of Prema. Then, Shraddha is the only rules for people established to the level of bhakti. Right? Shraddha is the only rule, faith, for people to establish on the level of bhakti. As anarthas, or unwanted habits, anarthas means unwanted habits, are destroyed by the power of devotional service, performed under the shelter of Guru, Sadhu and Guru. Okay? So, Shraddha is the rule to establish bhakti. And anarthas or unwanted habit is destroyed by the power of devotional service, which is performed under the shelter of Sadhu and Guru. So you can never do your bhakti by yourself. You have to have in association of a devotee. All right? Under the Sadhu and Guru, and that Shraddha transform into devotional service with Nishtha. That means that after when we perform devotional service, okay, under the faith, then and with the association with Guru and Sadhu, all these anarthas destroyed, unwanted habits. Okay, and that Shraddha will transform into, once the thing is destroyed, then you become a clean person, and that transform into devotional service with Nishtha. So what Nishtha means? Firm faith. First, you start with the faith. Then secondly, you come to the level of firm faith. Please underline all these things. As anarthas are further destroyed. So once you start to have a firm faith, some other unwanted things is gone, destroyed, further destroyed. One progress from the level of Nishtha to Ruchi. Okay, this is the yoga ladder. So once all the anarthas further destroyed, one come to the level of Nishtha. From the level of Nishtha, that means from the firm faith, you come to the level of Ruchi. In Tamil, we call Rusi. Rusi kiradu. Rusi means what? Taste. So once you get a taste, then from Ruchi, then you come to the level of Ashakti or attachment. What attachment? Okay, attachment to the service. Then from Ashakti comes bhava or emotion. After you become attached to Krishna, then from that attachment, then you further progress, it turns into bhava. Bhava means emotion. You start to feel the emotional feeling. Then from bhava then in the bhava, when bhava in the form of rati, so from the bhava in the form of rati or affection, right? First is bhava means what? Emotion. I hope you all are following me. Please, this is very important. If you don't get it, you can watch the thing. But how many people are really going back to the video and watching? Okay, try to make this as your best effort. First is Ashakti. Ashakti means attachment. All right. Bhava means, what is bhava? Where is it? Bhava. Bhava means emotion. Okay. Then from bhava, from when bhava in the form of rati, then the bhava will turn into rati. That means the emotion turn into affection. So, or become emotional affection. Just like how you emotionally attach to your children. Emotion and affection. All right. So now, what Rupa Goswami is mentioning here is, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So from bhava in the form of rati, that means bhava got many emotion, but one of the emotion is affection. Emotionally affection, right? So when that affection, rati, is mixed with appropriate ingredients, with many ingredients, which is so distinct, and that will turn into rasa. That turn into rasa. Okay. Now, in Srimad Bhagavatam 11:14-26, it said, Yata yatatma paritmritya jate sau mat punya gata shravana nahi tata pashyati vastu shukshman chakshur ut yatai vanjana samprayuktam. What it says, when a diseased eye is treated with medicinal ointment, it gradually recovers its power to see. So when the eye is spoiled, you put medicine, it starts to recover and you can see. Similarly, as a conscious living entity cleanses himself of material contamination, okay, by hearing and chanting the pious narration of my glories, hearing, chanting, and of course the pious narration talking about his pastime, he regains his ability to see me, who is the absolute truth, and in my subtle spiritual form. So Krishna is saying that you could able to see Krishna in his subtle spiritual form. And Srila Rupa Goswami clarifies the sequence in this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay, as follows. Adav Shada Tata Sadhu Sangota Bhajano Kriya Tato Narta Nivirti Shat Tato Nishta Ruchi Tata Ata Shaktis Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Bhyudanchati Sadhakanam Ayam Premna Pradyurbhave Bhavit Krama. In the beginning, one must have one must have preliminary desire for self-realization. Okay, he must have desire for self-realization. This will bring one to the stage of trying to associate with a person who are spiritually elevated. In the next stage, one becomes initiated by the elevated spiritual master. Okay, and under the instruction, the neophyte devotee, neophyte means the new devotee, or like you and I, okay, neophyte devotee begins the process of devotional service. That means under the training of the spiritual master, this thing. By execution of devotional service under the guidance of spiritual master, one becomes free from all material attachment and attain steadiness in self-realization. Okay, and acquires taste for hearing about the absolute personality of God. It's Sri Krishna. This taste leads one to further forward to attachment for Krishna consciousness, which is matured in bhava. Bhava means what? Emotion. Okay, or the preliminary stage of transcendental love of Godhead is only a preliminary. That means only a beginning stage. All right, of transcendental love of Godhead. Real love is called prema, the highest, right? The highest perfectional stage of life. So that means let's check and balance. Have I got bhava? If you have not got bhava, we are under the neophyte level. we have to work on bhava. In order to work on bhava, we have to study this Bhaktiyaloka, Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then you must increase your chanting. The more you chant, the more you pray to Krishna. Dear Krishna, please give me bhava. And you will surprise. You'll somehow or other come to that. All right? It's very important. Because bhava is only a preliminary stage. It's only a kindergarten. But at least you went into kindergarten, you know. It's still that not everybody can do it. All right? Don't remain in that standard. Okay? Don't remain just a new thing. Okay? If you can't do it, at least think about it. Of course, not everybody can do it overnight. In fact, I also couldn't do it. After 30 years only, I start to realize all these things. So just pray. Whether you can do it or not is secondary. But pray to Krishna. My dear Krishna, please give me that feeling of bhava, the emotional feeling. All right? How it's going to happen to you is unique because you're an individual soul and you got a personal relationship with Krishna. Krishna will arrange it for you. And it's amazing, I'm telling you. Right? So in the process of sadhana bhakti, there are 4 stages. So in the process of sadhana bhakti, there's four stages. So it's Shraddha, faith, Nistha, Ruchi, and Ashakti. After passing these 4 stages, one becomes the level of bhava. So in order for you to come to the level of bhava, you must understand, we have to start with Shraddha, faith, Nishtha, firm faith, Ruchi, taste, and Ashakti, attachment. So once we achieve these 4, we come to the stage of bhava. Okay, which is the doorstep of prema. Okay, according to the degree of faith, each level has a different rules. According to the degree, if you have strong faith, there's a strong rules. You know, you go to the gym, right? If you're skinny body or this thing weak, you only carry 1 kg dumbbell. All right. So once you start building, then you come to 10 kg dumbbell. Then you go to 100 kg dumbbell. Everything is there, but all you do according to your standard, your degree of your health, right? So that means like degree of faith, each level has a different rules. And as one leaves behind one level and progress to the next, he should honor the rules of the later and leave aside those of the former. All right. So that means once we progress to the next level, you should forget about the rules that you have set aside before, your former rules, put it aside and start to honor the current rules, you know. And those who do not give up the rules of the previous level, if you still don't give up the rules of a previous level, are bound by these rules like chains, and they do not allow him to proceed to the next levels, right? Don't ever think, oh, okay, this is what I've been learning, this is what I've been doing. No, when you move on, push aside even the rules, the good rules or bad rules, push it aside, because Bhaktivinoda Thakura is warning, it's become like a chain. You know, it's just like sometimes when you put a balloon, you put it in a hard coin or something like that. You don't allow the balloon to fly. So you're still holding you back. So you have to give it up. And now the current rules, honor it. In the process of devotional service, whatever rules are prescribed for each level are all subordinate to one principal rule. All these are subordinate one main rule. That general rule is given in the Padma Puran. Right? In Padma Puran, where it's mentioned, Smartavya Satatam Vishnur Vishmartavyo na Chatuchit Sarve Vidhi Vishedashur Etayur Eva Kinkaraha. Remembering Krishna is the eternal duty. All other prescriptions mentioned in the Sastra have arisen from the main prescription. Right? It's arisen from the main prescription. All the other rules is from this main. Forgetting Krishna is never allowed. All other prohibition mentioned in the Sastra have arisen from the main prohibition. So all the prohibition that mentioned in the Sastra, it's from this prohibition that you cannot forget Krishna. Keeping this main prescription in the mind while advancing, the practitioner should give up his attachment for the prescription of the previous level and accept the prescription of the new level. So that means keeping that. Number 1, remembering is my eternal duty. That's a prescription. Forgetting him is not allowed. He's the main. So thinking of remembering him, there's a lot of prescription. So once you move to level 1 to go to level 2, forget about level 1. Practice level 2. Don't say, oh, in level 1, I do that. Forget it. Finish. Then you come to level 2. Then you come to level 3. Forget about level 2. Try to increase. Right? And the prohibition, that all the prohibition that can make you to forget Krishna is there. No, the 4 regulatory principles. No, these, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. All this for what? So that you cannot come to that. You cannot sticking to the main rule, not forgetting Krishna. All right. Otherwise, he will be guilty of Niyama, graha, and weak in reaching the next level. If you don't do that, if you're so attached to the old rules and this thing, you will be very weak. You cannot go to the next level. Otherwise, you'll be guilty of Niyama, graha, or weak in reaching the next level. The practitioner of devotional service must always remember this point. Always remember this point. Mark this word. Okay. All right. So in the conclusion of Hari Bhakti Vilas, a special instruction is given in this regard. Kirtyan yetani tu prayo grinam daninam satam likitani natu tyakta parigraha mahatmana. Whatever activities written in Hari Bhakti Vilas are mostly all meant for householder and rich devotees. All right. So all the things mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas are meant for grahastha and rich devotees. There is no rules written for renunciate. Also, in the conclusion of Hari Bhakti Vilas is stated, avasyam. Avasyam means what? Avasyama. Avasyam tani sarvani tesham tad ritva siddhaye prak apekshanti bhaktirhi sadacharaika sadhana. Although the rules and rules of renunciate are void of all these books. Although the rules for renunciate, that means for sannyasi or brahmachari, are avoided in this book, still renunciate should follow those rules in order to perfect their position. Even the rules are not for them, they should follow it to perfect their renunciation. All right. So the first symptom of one, the behavior of exhibition, Prabhu should behave in this connection, that is alone to be followed. The first symptom of one who has attained Shraddha. So what is the first symptom? All right, who attained the level of Shraddha. Okay. If you know someone who attained Shraddha, what is the first symptom? Surrender to the feet of the Lord Krishna. That surrender is of 2 types. Even surrender also got 2 types. One is householder and for the renunciate. So Hari Bhakti Vilas mentioned only those rules are meant for householders. That is why observance such Shiva Chaturdasi are given herein. All right, therein. The surrendered renunciate should follow whichever observance. So the surrendered renunciate should follow whichever observance are appropriate for renunciates. Both the household and renunciate becomes unallied surrender souls, advancing in path of sadhana. Okay. All right. You said in Srimad Bhagavatam 11:18 during the Hari Bhakti Vilas. Okay, what it says here in Bhagavatam. Jnana nishto virakto va mat bhakto vana pekshaka sa lingam ashramasthyaktva charet avidya gochara. A learned transcendentalist dedicated to the cultivation of knowledge and thus detached from external object. Or my devotees who are detached even from desire for liberation, both neglect those duties based on external ritual or paraphernalia. Thus, their conduct is beyond the range of regulation, rules and regulation. Okay, very straightforward. Huh? The learned transcendentalists, that means the learned transcendentalists, okay, they dedicate their life to get knowledge and to being detached from external object. You only study. But the devotee, they don't want anything. They detach from all the activities. They only want to attach to what they call attached to the service. Even sometimes they detach from liberation. Even liberation, they are not interested. So what Krishna says here, both neglect those duties based on external ritual. Okay, according to this, okay. Ekantitam gatanantu Sri Krishna charana bhyajo bhakti svata pravartetas tat viknai kim vrtatibihi. When one becomes pure devotee, right? So what happened? When one becomes pure devotee of Krishna, of the Lord, then devotion is spontaneous. So when a person becomes pure devotee means what? The devotion becomes spontaneous and established in his heart. What then is the need of observed ritual? What is the need for observed ritual? All right? What for ritual? That simply obstruct one's devotional service. Okay? So that means the pure devotee who have become really this thing, these are the people who do not follow any kinds of ritual. Fire yagya and all these things, they don't follow. What is the point? What is the point following all these things? Right? It simply obstruct devotional service. Na maya kenta bhaktanam guna dosho bhava gunai sadhunam samachittanam buddhe param upeyeshu. Material piety and sin. All right, material piety, punyam, pavam, which arise from good and evil in this world, cannot exist with my unalloyed devotees. Cannot exist with my unalloyed devotees. So Krishna says here, material piety, okay, pava punyam, whatever the sin and the good things, piety cannot exist with unalloyed devotees. That means cannot exist in pure devotees who being free from material hankering, because they don't have any other material hankering, maintain steady spiritual consciousness in all circumstances. Indeed, such devotee have achieved me, the Supreme Lord, who am beyond anything that can be conceived by material intelligence. So in Hari Bhakti Vilas is also stated, Evam ekantinam praya kirtanam smaranam prabho kurvatam parama pritya krityam anyam na rochate vihiteshve va nityeshu pravartante swayam hite ityadyekantinam bhakti mahatmyam likitam hitat. A devotee whose mind are fixed in chanting, the devotee whose mind are fixed on chanting and remembering Krishna's glories in pure love, have no taste for activities prescribed for lower stages. They don't have any other excitement or attachment to any other rules in lower stage. Although they are not attached or bound to follow the prescribed rules of the scripture, they sometimes follow out of their own effort. So even though they do not need to follow, but they simply follow out of their own will. This is nicely explained in the 8th verse of Upadesha Mrta. 8th verse. Okay. What it says, there are glories of the pure devotees, that is, their glories are not diminished by neglecting other prescribed rules. Right? So that means the pure devotees, the glories is not diminished when they come down and they follow the rules, simple rules. But this is just to increase their glories, and they do it out of their own will. The purport is that exalted devotee follow whatever rules and of the lower stage they like. The jnanis follow the varnashram dharma of the karmi by their own will, not by rules or obligation. Similarly, the devotees out of their sweet will, that means out of their sweet will, also follow the rules of the karmi and jnanis for some purpose. Sometimes we also follow the rules of karmi out of free will. This means that although they are not obliged to follow the prescription and prohibition, they do so on their own effort. The topmost pure devotees are also not concerned. The topmost pure devotees are not considered overly attached to regulation when they follow the rules of karma, jnana, and ordinary sadhana, bhakti. Independently, they are engaged in unalloyed devotional service of the Lord Krishna. The practicing devotee who gives up, Niyama, graha, but spontaneously follow the rules, achieve auspicious results. Right? So the devotee, sadhana bhakta, who gives up niyama graha, to attach or not attach at all, spontaneously follow the rules. They easily follow the rules and achieve auspicious result. The conclusion is that the practitioner attains higher level as a result of following the rules and prescribed according to his qualification. Okay, now we are coming to the conclusion. So the conclusion is that, number one, please underline. The conclusion is that practitioner attained the higher level of result of following the rules prescribed according to his qualification. First, we must understand what is my qualification. All right. So by knowing your qualification, you follow the rules according to your qualification. Number two, he should not remain in he should not remain in attachment for the rules of his previous level. So once you evolve, you do not stay, you do not get attached to the rules of your previous level. Then number three, keeping the instruction always in the mind. Okay, keeping this instruction always in mind. He should always engage in chanting and remembering Lord Krishna, and thus continue advancing to higher level. So chanting and remembering is very important. So please chant Hare Krishna daily. because that is for your own benefit. All right. Never compromise. And don't over endeavor. Keep your thing. All right. Because bhava is only a first stage. And to reach bhava, takes so much of effort. So now let's see, where do I stand? All right. So first, I'm a karmi. So now I stand and I follow the varnashram. So in varnashram, where do I stand? All right. I'm a businessman, Vaishya, and I'm a grahastha. So cultivate jnana kanda. So okay, then after karma, then you start to work and everything, whatever money, whatever you get, you start to engage in devotional service. You become a karma kandi. After that, you finish up that thing, then you go to the jnana kanda. Jnana kandi. That means you start to study about this, you start to acquire knowledge. That's how you all are coming here. You're gaining more and more knowledge. So once you're done with this, then you go to the next one. Right? So like that, we progress. All right. So once you go to the jnana kandi, forget about karma kandi. All right. Just forget about the rules and regulation when what you practice. Just move on. You should not maintain attachment to the previous level. So keeping that instruction, he must always engage in chanting and remembering. So chant Hare Krishna always and remember Krishna. Right. If you think you can wake up extra half an hour early, maybe you can chant extra rounds. All right. Go to bed early, wake up early, eat simple food. Don't have lavish food because sometimes you eat a lot. You feel dull. You cannot think. Right. And how my Guru Maharaj prescribed, you can use a clicker. Okay. First, maybe you can start with clicker. Clicker. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So you use a clicker. Keep a clicker in your hand. Whenever you're traveling, please don't chant and drive. But use the clicker. You're walking, you just put the clicker in your pocket and just chant. You just do it. Come back home, take the amount of number you chanted, divide by 108. All right, say like 1,800 times you've clicked, divide by 108 is around 16 plus. So you just take 16 rounds, consider you chanted 16 times. It is for karma kandi. For a beginner. For those who advance, don't do this. Right? So they just chant. So when you need to travel a lot, when you travel, like we even travel to Kelantan, all that you can utilize the time. Just use clicker and chant, go chanting. And eventually get the taste. Once you get the taste, then it's totally a different environment. All right. So exactly 11 o'clock, we end the session here. So tomorrow we're going to speak on Jana Sangha, association with worldly minded people, and what will be the advantage and disadvantage in our bhakti practice. So with this we end. We open for a question. Any questions? Any comment? I know the class is quite heavy. Okay. Any questions? Any comment? What happened? Were you all mesmerized or confused? Hare Krishna. Is it jammed up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro, clear.
Oh, okay. Thank God. I was just thinking whether we are jammed or what. It looks like everybody is like shocked. Pengsan.
Very deep, Prabhu.
What is it, Mataji? Nanda Mataji?
It was very deep, but
Yes.
very good knowledge. So now we know the stages
Yes.
that we have to move. Yeah.
No, first we get to understand the rules and regulation and gradually try to practice it. It's not necessary that, I mean, of course, it's not conducive because that's what in Bhagavad Gita Prabhupada used to say many times, gradually. It's not straight away you go into the rules and regulation, but you must know the rules and you know the scientific step. You know that steps of what they call the bhakti step, sorry, Shraddha, then Nishtha and all these things. The yoga ladder. So we have read that in a very scientific way, step by step. So we understand that, and because you all have the book, so I hope you all have underlined the things. So go back and start to study and set your mind, set a goal. One day I'm going to practice this. Fake it until you make it. Right? Just fake it. I know, you look at yourself. This face can do. Sure, cannot what. It's okay. Just fake it. Krishna, I'm so happy. I'm chanting 64 rounds for you. But you're struggling with chanting with only 2 rounds. Never mind, fake it. One day you will make it. Even mundane achievement can achieve in that way by setting goals. Why not spiritual goals? Right?
Yeah.
It's possible. Too heavy, Rusan Mataji. Prabhu, can we chat during cooking or doing other work? Chat or chant, Mataji? Which one you mean? You're talking about chatting or chanting? Who is this? Sheila Mataji. Chant. Yes, definitely. Definitely you should chant when you cook. Yeah? You chant. How you chant when you cook? You're just chanting that, you just chant Hare Krishna, then you're cooking and your mind, you're meditating on how Krishna is going to enjoy your meal. I'm cooking these for Krishna. Oh boy. My guru going to offer to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada going to offer from there it goes to Parambara, goes to Radharani. And Radharani going to look at the preparation. And so pleasing mind, she's going to offer to Krishna. And Krishna will look at it. Wow, Sheila Mataji did a fantastic. She offered me a very nice bhoga. And he going to enjoy it. Then after that, the entire Parambara will go to eat it and come to you as Mahaprashadam. Right? Please don't talk or chat when you cook. Don't talk grandmother story. Sometimes in the temple when they cook, they all have a lot of story to talk. Don't talk. Sometimes I used to say, be like a jail. Cover your mouth when you talk. Cover your mouth. Cover it when you cook. Don't only cover your head, even cover your mouth. And cook in meditation. Not talk grandfather story. How are you? Is your children okay or not while cooking? Your son, when going to get married? Cannot. Because cooking for Krishna is a meditation. You have to cook very carefully, very diligently, and you have to offer to Krishna. All right? Because you are cooking for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You got that boon to do that. So don't take it lightly. Don't talk when you cook, and don't listen to cinema song, or don't listen. So just can put some lecture. The best is from lecture. The best is if you can chant. Okay, Mataji, Sheila Mataji. All right. So any other question? Hare Krishna. All right. If there's no question, I know the today's topic is heavy. All right. Then if we go to Jana Sangha, all this we have to know. How we're going to practice? We pray to Krishna. All right. Like for instance, like Rusan Mataji here. She came and she was looking around, and suddenly she had a desire. But that day during that Taipusam, I still cannot forget the excitement. She had a big smile, and she just going to approach people, come big. Why? How the thing happened? Right? Is it superficial or internal? Nobody knows. It's internal. Suddenly the bhava, the stage of bhakti, the ecstatic feeling, suddenly erupt in your heart. All right? But just get to know that knowledge and pray to Krishna. Definitely, if you are here sitting and listening to this, I mean, not listening, discussing, because I am reading. See, when I'm talking, I'm looking at my face, because in my camera, I only can see, others are off your camera. I only can see my face, and I'm actually telling me, instructing me, what are the things that I should follow. All right? But it's my good fortune that all of you have joined me. Because of your commitment, I am sitting and doing. If not, I'll be lazy, and I'll be doing something else. Right? My heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And today is a wonderful day, and we discussed a wonderful topic. And tomorrow, we're going to continue at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk about second Jana Sangha. Okay, the worldly minded people. What are the Jana? Jana means Makkal, Janam, Janangal, Jana Sangam. All right, Jana Sangha will be the topic for tomorrow. Till then, have a beautiful day. So today, I think it's supposed to be a half-day fasting. What? No idea. No, I've not seen. Anyway, whatever said and done, enjoy your prasadam, honor the prasadam, have a beautiful spiritual day. Please chant Hare Krishna. If you have not started, start by today. After listening to all that evidence, if you still don't chant, that means it shows that you are very unfortunate. If you don't have the taste for chanting, if you got the taste or not, just chant. Oh, I don't get taste. It's okay. Just take the just make like a sound like a Aborigine also in our mind. Do it. Because it has so powerful purification, right? And increase your chanting and achieve the highest perfection, at least to the first preliminary perfection of Bhava. And eventually, I pray to Krishna. We all pray to Krishna, to all our Guru Varga, Guru Parambara, spiritual master, that we are blessed with Prema Bhakti. Gora Prema Nande. Hari Hari Bol. Vanchakalpaturubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavevayo Namo Namo. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day. Gauranga.